Good day and welcome back to another video. We're here today again with another episode of Rosefort, where I'm continuing my work on the town. So first off, we're starting with some landscaping because I wanted to push the hill back a little bit. I think I discussed this in the last video. But anyway, I'm pushing the hill back a little bit and I'm starting to make the foundations for a second defense line. I figured would make sense, especially because this is the side which is closest to the border of their lands, and it gave this really cool kind of pit which is in front of this wall, and in this pit I'm planning on making the poor district, so kind of like the outskirts of the town are way down. So first off, I'm doing the foundations all in pink and now adding some rocks because I don't want it to look too much out of place. So I add in these grey rocks and I will brush them over in a second. There you go. And then I started to add in some more details because I figured I need to have a way up for the people to get into the town. What about a staircase? So I made a staircase and it turned out way bigger than I thought. So it looked a little bit funky. So I tried to make it go broader every three steps down, and that actually did the trick pretty well, I think. At least I really like it, but I'm just adding some extra details to it because it's still really chunky right now. So I'm just adding the details to make it a little less chunky. I'm also changing the materials. I'm brushing over the materials just to see how it looks, so I know what I need to keep tweaking to make it look better. So you can see me still focusing on the staircase, adding the sides to it, and then I decided that I needed to add the steps in for a final look and see if I actually wanted to keep it or still look out of place. But adding in the steps really did a lot for it. At least it convinced me that I want to keep this piece because it's a nice big piece, a big structure, which they won't have a lot of them, and I really like the look of it, especially in a moment when I'm starting adding those poor buildings. It really makes it just look really cramped and really nice. So I'm doing some more foundations for the wall over here and adding another tower just as a kind of turning point. But basically this is just an extra defense line inside their community. There won't be any wooden palisades on those inside walls, I think. So it's just a defense layer for whatever's down there. So then I started working on the first buildings just to figure out the style a little bit. Now these houses are very small and very basic still, so it's really just me trying to get a feeling for this style again, because it's been over a year since we last did Rosefort and we didn't do a whole lot of building back then. So I'm just figuring out the style. I made those really simple houses. I probably will do for the rest of the town. I will probably have some richer variations of these houses because these are really simple, really down to earth. But I figured this is the poor district, so this is the perfect place for me to start because I can get away with some more simple designs. But I actually do like the look of it when you see the finished product. I did spend some time randomizing all the buildings. Now I lost a little bit of footage, but you can see that I added in all the houses on one side and I'm just doing the sloped paths up there. So I've got going for really muddy paths between the houses as opposed to the normal path, just to make it look even more poor. And I've got a lot of detailing to do because I'm planning to do like little farms and little pig pens and stuff like that to make it really dirty and really poor, and of course more alive, because even though the houses look great in my opinion, it's still a little bit boring because there isn't any details yet. So I did do some diagonal houses, one on this side, and in a second I will start on the other side and I'll do some more diagonal houses because they just add a lot to the build. But I'm just spending some time on the paths, which is a really painstaking thing to do, but just put up some movie or anything and it's not that bad anymore. So I decided to work on the other half of the poor district, first spending some time on the access to the towers, because I wouldn't want to block it off with a house or anything. So then I start planning out where I want to have my buildings in this area, and I wanted to start with a bigger diagonal build. So I figured the corner would be the best place for this house. So starting to do the foundation and planning out where the house is actually gonna be. And I'm actually quite happy with the way this entire district turned out. But I do need to add a lot of details. So any suggestions for what I could fit in this district, let me know. Now, I haven't seen the first directions to the first video because I'm working a little bit in advance. So what I'm planning on doing, all the building I will be doing in between before I upload these videos, I will probably be working on different areas just so I can get you guys' feedback and maybe work that in before I start building and detailing everything in this district. So just so you know, you can still leave all your suggestions and I will hopefully be able to use them whenever I start finishing up this build. So I'm just adding in the foundations at this point, not really finishing the buildings, just seeing how I can plan out this little neighborhood. And I decided to go for another diagonal building just to spice it up a little bit. And I figured that this would be enough, so I would have some space to add in some details, maybe a tree or anything. Just because I didn't want to cramming up too much with houses. Maybe I could build a little shed or anything, like a storage thing, or maybe the pigs, because those need some space as well. So that's why I left that other spot empty, but if we need it, we could also just fit another house in there, of course. But yeah, I'm now going to do the houses. I decided to do this really systematically. So I'm doing first all the walls of all the houses, and I'm then starting to do the roofs of all the builds. And yeah, what I did, of course, we've got 3 kinds of thatch in Conquest Reforged. So I'm mixing it up. Every roof, I'm just picking a random color. Also with the beams, I've got different color beams because it really adds a lot to the town by having the beams and the roofs not all the same color, so different combination. It really just adds some extra life to the build, so that's why I'm doing that. So the rest of this video is just me finishing up those roofs and completing that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your feedback, your suggestions for the build in the comments below, and hopefully I will be able to use them in the continuation of this project in Rosefort. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave that like, subscribe to the channel for more, and I will see you guys next week.